In front of me, I have a package from PerfumeOnline.ca. Recently, the owner of the website, or who I assume to be the owner, reached out to me and asked me to essentially take a look at them. So what we're going to be doing in this video is assessing the quality of a package from an order placed on their website, quality of 4 fragrances coming from there, and then also the website itself in terms of discounts and how good they are. So on the initial look here, you can tell that I've already been in it because there's a fragrance that I really wanted to open. But if you pretend it was like this, it came pretty well sealed, not too much damage on the outside. Then on the inside, plenty of protection and packaging. So just how you like it, nothing came broken or kind of destroyed. So not more we can ask for that. Let's get into the fragrances and see how good they are. Okay, so the 4 fragrances that we have are Swiss Arabian Shagaf Oud. This is Curly Fragrance recommended if I remember correctly, and that's what had me curious about it. Kadlaj Cloud Candy, that's supposed to be a take on Yum Bougie, so we're gonna use these two to compare on the kind of quality front because I've seen a lot of people recommend this, and Kadlaj makes really good fragrances. Then we have Atralia Sensual Vanilla. I haven't heard anyone talk about this, but it's an Atralia fragrance, and I really like Atralia fragrances, so I thought we might as well have that. And then Armaf Odyssey Homme, which I've seen is supposed to be a take on Tom Ford Nordic Extreme. I really love this fragrance, so I'm curious if this actually gets close to it, but let's compare these two. And here we have Cloud Candy. Not bad on the bottle, something a little bit different, not too spectacular. Let's compare. Good atomizer. Okay, so I've been standing here comparing these two for a few minutes, and I definitely have to say that this is a legitimate fragrance in the sense that it's not some kind of cleaning product that's been slipped into a bottle. And then in terms of the boxing and packaging too, this did look legitimate. All of the QR codes take you right to the Kadlaj site, and there's a batch code and production date as well. But beyond that, this also does smell pretty similar. I've seen some people say this smells around 95%. I would do more 85 to 90 because I feel like it's emphasizing something a little bit different, and it might even be a little bit better. Let's get into the Tom Ford and see how that one's looking. Here we've got the box, and it's got a barcode on the bottom that we can check out on GS1. Pretty normal packaging. And then in terms of legitimacy, this does look like a classic Armaf bottle. Let's get into this one. Now, checking out Odyssey Homme, I did run the barcode through GS1 and it did come back as a verified product of Armaf. And then in addition to that, when I look at this as a fragrance, it doesn't feel like cleaning product. It does feel like a legitimate fragrance, and it does bear similarity to Nor Extreme, but it feels like it's missing some of the darkness that's in this fragrance that makes it what it is. But it does feel like a nice daily version and is very pleasing. So I'm glad that I have this. We'll be doing a separate video on this, but let's check out the rest and then get into the website. I've already opened up Shagaf Oud and kind of tested this one out. Nice, kind of straightforward fragrance, but I really like it. Then we've got Sensual Vanilla. Looks good. It's pretty much passing all the same checks. And here it is. Looks pretty good. Let's get into this one. Smelling this one, I really think it resembles Bianco Latte to an extent. It's actually quite nice, but I might call it sensual milk instead of sensual vanilla because it does feel a lot more milky. Okay, I'm gonna have you guys follow along as I maneuver through the website. We're gonna point out a couple things and see what's happening here. But first thing at the very top I noticed is free shipping on orders over $149. That's gonna seem like a lot to some of you if you don't wait or you just want your fragrances right away. So you will have to keep that in mind. Now, as we scroll down, I'm seeing a lot of options available between niche, designer, and even some good Middle Easterns that Hawass Malibu released recently that's been pretty popular. I think I've seen fragrances for around $5 to $10 more, so that already looks like a good discount. I'll post some examples if I see them. Then as we scroll over, a designer example, we have the JPG Le Male Elixir Absolute. Looks like they have it for $137. I'll throw up an example from a site that handles designer fragrances with good discounts very well to see how they compare. And then in terms of their best sellers here, we also have Mancera's Oud Lemon Mint. That's a fragrance flan favorite, but it looks like for the 60 ml, they have it for about 69 bucks. So I'll throw up some examples here too to see how this compares with other sites, just so you can get an idea of the kind of discounts that are maneuvering here. I'm sure not every single thing on this website is going to be better than others, but this is the thing with discounters. Some are going to be better at certain things or have certain deals that beat out other websites, and that's why it's worth looking at the website in the first place. Overall, first experience with Perfume Online has been more than satisfactory. I can't really complain. I really like the fragrances that I got. And beyond that, I think they're hosting a number of fragrances that are really worth looking at in terms of discounts. That said, let me know in the comments what your thoughts, questions, and concerns are regarding Perfume Online, and I'll see you guys in the next one.